Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Miss V, and if this is your first time seeing my face, welcome. And if you've seen my face before, thank you for returning. So in today's video, I'm going to break down to you pretty much in layman's term what sinking funds are. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm sharing my debt-free journey here on YouTube. My husband and I are debt-free, except for our mortgage. We paid off all of our car loans, credit cards, personal loans, and we are using the envelope system to stay debt-free. And something that is one term that is used with the cash envelope system is called sinking funds. So I did a little research. You'll see me looking down in my paper because I want to give you, accurate information, even though I know what they are, but I want to give it to you in the correct way, put it like that. So a sinking fund, sinking. So the word sinking seems to be like a negative term, right? So when you think of sinking, you're thinking about a boat or a ship or something sinking, right? Like the Titanic, does that come in your mind? So a sinking fund, it was originally used to describe someone paying down debt, sinking, like the amount of debt is going down. So that's where it originally came from. But since then, it has been used in conjunction with what's called the cash envelope system. And I'll elaborate on that later on in the video. So what is a sinking fund? A sinking fund is just you setting aside money for like repayment of debt. And also it is you saving a specific amount of money for a particular purchase, like myself. I am saving to pay for my granddaughter's driving education classes, and that's $260. So I know that I have to save $260 by a certain amount of time. Say, for example, her classes will start, I'll say her class is going to start in September, and this is June. So I have July and August, and I get paid, well, me and my husband get paid every week. So we're just going to say, we got 8 checks that we'll get before her first driving lesson. So I would take those 8 checks that I know what I would get, and I would divide it by the amount, and the amount is $260. So for sake of the video, I'm gonna do it for you, and that would tell me how much I need to put in my envelope in order to achieve the goal by that amount of time. So you have 8 divided by 260. Hold on, old school here. 8 divided by 260. So that tells me I need to save at least $32 a week in order to achieve that goal of $260. Now that is for an item, for a goal or a savings that has a certain amount of money. Sometimes you don't have an exact amount. So I'll touch on that later in the video also. So sinking funds, like I said, it was originally started to, the term was given to describe people paying down debt. And so that's what a sinking fund is. It's just putting aside small amounts of money to reach goals or to pay for, an upcoming event or upcoming purchase. Okay, so we got the definition out the way. Yay. So now I know myself of 3 types of sinking funds. The one that I just described to you is what's called a fixed sinking fund, where I know the amount is $260. The teacher, the education teacher has given me the amount $260. So I know I need to save at least $260. So that's what's called a fixed sinking fund that you're saving for. And something like your rent is $700, and you get paid bi-weekly, so twice a month. And so you divide that by 2, and you have to put $350 in the envelope each time you get paid. But say you get paid every week, so you divide the $700 by 4, and you have to put $175 in the envelope each time you get paid. So that's what's called a fixed expense, towards your goal. And the other type of sinking fund is what's called, you can set a goal. So, for example, you want to save $500 for Christmas. And say, for me, for instance, I just started a Christmas sinking fund. And this is June. So I have July, August, September, October, and November. I'm going to say 5 months, because when I do my Christmas, now I give people money or gift cards. So I don't need time to buy a gift. So I have 5 months, to save $500. And say I get 10 checks between now and the end of November. So you divide the 10 by 500. That lets me know I need to put $50 in the sinking fund envelope each week until the end of November. So that's called the goal. So we got 3 types. I went over the fixed. That's the one where you know the amount. The goal is the one where you set the amount. And then we have variable. Variable is an expense that does not have an exact amount. It can fluctuate. Like, for example, I have an envelope for car maintenance. Who knows how much it's going to cost for car maintenance? 1 week, you may pay $60 for an oil change, and the next week, you may have a blowout and have to buy 2 tires. So you don't have an amount. So what I do is I just put what I can in that envelope. That way, when you do have that expense come up, that will be less of a burden on you, because you will have some of the money already saved up. So that's why it's called a sinking fund, because you still are decreasing the amount that you will have to pay. Say I have a blowout and I need 2 tires, and my tires are $400. But I have already saved $320 in my sinking fund. So the sinking part of that is I have already decreased the amount that I will have to pay. So it's $400. I've already saved $320. So guess what? I only have to come up with $80, opposed to having to come up with the entire $400 unexpectedly. So that's where the word sinking comes from, in a positive way. You're decreasing the amount that you will have to pay at a later date. So those are the 3 types of sinking funds that I know of. I'm not saying that there aren't more, but those are the 3 that we in the budgeting community, are using at this time. So now that we got all that out the way, we got where the word sinking fund came from. We got a definition of sinking fund, putting away small amounts of money depending on your income. And we have the 3 types of sinking fund. We have the 3 types of sinking funds. The goal, you set the amount. The fixed, the amount is already set, like your rent. And variable, it fluctuates. We're just preparing for those expenses. So now that we have all that out the way, what are we going to do? We're going to go and, depending on our budget, get some regular white envelopes, however you say it, envelopes. Get you something to hold your money. How about that? So go to the Dollar Tree and pick you up a package of envelopes. That's how I started with these white ones. But if you want to be, so much is going on, if you hadn't learned okay, Miss V, I'm not going to edit this out because it's real life over here. I'm so excited about getting the information to you. I'm tongue-tied. Okay, if you have not learned anything from the 2020 pandemic, I want you to remember that you should at least try to get your finances in order as much as you can. So, with that being said, I myself need motivation, and I'm sure you do. So you can get the white envelopes where you don't spend a lot of money, $1, or you can save up if you need to and get you some decorative envelopes. They're all over the internet. Everybody is selling them, including Miss V, but I haven't launched mine yet. But stay tuned, it's coming. I'm going to have y'all some cute ones out. And the purpose, I seen somebody put in a comment, what's the purpose of, if you're on a budget, why are you spending money on these envelopes and all these budgeting items? We do this to keep ourselves motivated. I'm motivated to fill this cute envelope. I was motivated to fill the regular one, but I'm more motivated when I see these cute little envelopes. Yeah, it's just for a way to keep us motivated. So that's why we spend money in the budgeting community on these cute planners and cute envelopes. So you can do that. Those are the two things you do. Get you something to hold your money. So now you found out what the sinking funds were and the types of sinking funds. And now you get your budget. You start your budget. Get you a piece of notebook paper, any kind of notebook paper, write down all your bills. Write down when they're due. Okay. And then you decide what categories you want to say. For instance, for me, in my household, I only use sinking funds for our extra income because remember, we're already out of debt. And the purpose of me doing that is so that we don't, just spend all of our extra money like we were doing. I still want to save for upcoming events and upcoming purchases, and events, so that we can save more money. So, like I said, get you a budget, write down all your bills, write down when they're due, and decide which categories you want to use in the envelope. Okay. So now that you found out about the envelopes, it's time to get on a budget. If that's what you want to do. If you all in this to save money, whatever your why is, you gotta know your why. My why is that I want to be free. I want to be able to travel like I want to without the burden of debt. I want to be able to provide for my grandkids without the burden of debt. I want to just wake up every day and just feel like I don't owe anyone anything but to love them, like the Bible tells us. So that's my why. So you find out why you're doing it, and that's going to fuel you to get this done. So once you realize why you're doing it, then get on your budget. And your budget can be however you want. I started out, I just wrote down all of our bills and wrote down when they're due and how much is due. Okay. So with my cash envelope system, I don't include my income or any of my monthly expenses. All I do is take the extra money out of the bank that we normally would have just to spend. I take half of it out because I leave the other half in the bank because my husband is not on this budget with me. He was on it when we got out of debt, but now I put myself on a budget and I want to do the cash envelope system because I am the spender in the marriage. So I felt like I needed to be the one doing the cash envelope system. So he does not do a lot of spending. So the money that, say like if I cashed up $400, that means potentially we had $800 to spend. So I usually take half of it out, to kind of curb my spending. So I only cash stuff our spending money. So what I do is came up with categories that were important to me, and started saving for those categories. And that's how you can do too. Start out slow. You don't have to get all these binders like we do. Like Beautifully Me and You, she said she don't like all those binders. She has one nice binder, which is fine. But Miss V, I have 4. I have a vacation binder. I have a binder for what's called high priority sinking funds. Like those are the ones that I'm really focused on right now. Then I have one that says low priority sinking funds. Those are the ones I would stuff when I have like some extra money. And then I also have what's called personal sinking funds. Those are things for me and my grandkids. So, everybody budget is different. That's why it's called personal finance. So the purpose of me sharing all this on my channel is just to motivate you. I may, have something in my video that you may not have even thought about. It's not about us trying to brag about how much money we have, because we just trying to keep as much of our money as we can. It's about motivating you guys. So I have learned so much in this budgeting community, and I just want to say that. So let me get back on task talking about these cash envelopes. So once you get on a budget, you decide what categories you want to, save for. Then what you do is Decide when you want to start. Like, if you want to say, I'm going to start next month, and start then. So you start out slow and budget. Like I said, you choose the category, and then they'll decide the amount. It's up to you. You don't have to do what everybody else does. You do what you can do. And then, after that, you'll start seeing your money grow. And I promise you it will grow if you leave it there. And so let me tell you why the cash envelope system works. Because supposedly we have an emotional attachment to money. Think about it. And it's true because I tried it out. Before I started the cash envelope system, I was using my debit card, which is a piece of plastic, of course. And it was nothing for me to just swipe the card. It don't matter what the balance was. $525, swipe the card. $1,486, swipe the card. You just swipe and you don't really have an attachment to it. You know, of course, you see your balance go down when you go to the bank, but it's not an attachment. So say you have those same amounts and you go to the counter and they tell you $525. It's going to be hard for you to count out five $100 bills, a 20 and a 5. You're going to be like, do I really need this? I promise you, that's why the cash envelope system works, because we as humans have an emotional attachment to money. Yes. I first heard this on Dave Ramsey's show, and I tried it myself, and it is true. Of course, it's not 100%. Some people still love to use their debit card. I use my debit card sometimes, but for the most part, I have noticed that I save I save 70% more money by using cash. So that's why the cash envelope system works. Yes, because you have an emotional attachment. That's why I like the cash envelope system opposed to I guess the digital system where you still use your debit card. Cash, yeah, I feel like you live a little bit below your means and you prioritize, because I even put myself on a budget for the Dollar Tree. It was nothing for me to swipe that card and spend $33, $42 every week at the Dollar Tree just picking up stuff. Now I got myself on a $20 budget, and I promise you I have not even spent $20. Yes, it's because of the cash. I'm telling you, listen to Miss V. So that's it. That's all I have for you. I just wanted to come on and just explain what the sinking funds is and the cash envelope system. They work together hand in hand. Yes. Okay, let me say this before I leave. Okay. So one of my coworkers asked me, which it did, I thought about it too before I started. She said, so what you do is you go get money out your bank account, cash money out of your bank account, and put it in an envelope system to save for a later date. I said, yes. She said, well, I'm puzzled because that sort of don't make sense. You take money out, put it in the envelope system, then you take the money back. I said, yeah, I thought about it. I said, yeah, it don't make sense. But when you think about why you're doing it, okay, I take $400 out. I give myself $100 to go in these little envelopes. Just my spending money, like my money that I keep with me all the time. Okay, $100. And the other $300 is split up in categories for upcoming events. Okay. End of the month, end of every month, I put my money back in the bank. I put all my sinking funds in the same savings account. So I'm potentially doing what she's saying, taking the money out, putting it in the envelope, putting it back in the bank. Okay. But I have it written down how much is in there for car repair, how much is in there for Christmas. So when these things come up, I know that I do not have to come up with the entire amount of money because I already have saved for some of the money. So to me, that makes sense to me, opposed to me leaving the $400 in. If I leave the $400 in, like I did before doing the cash envelope system, guess what? By the time I have a car repair or something, guess what? Me and my husband, we done swiped that $400. It's gone. Shroom. That $400 said, what? Huh? Who you? I'm just saying. It works for me, but, I do not try to convince people. I just tell them, the facts that I have experienced. That's all I can do. So it really does work. I challenge you to try it. I mean, it's still your money. If it don't work, it don't work. But I promise you it works. So that's going to conclude this video. I have talked to you about sinking funds and the cash envelope system and our emotional relationship with money. So how valuable is money to you? Ask yourself that. So this is Miss V. I'm going to continue to show you love. And I'm always, always, always try to help you save on some of the things you need so you can get some of the things you want. Thank you and have a nice day. If this video was helpful to you, give me a thumbs up. If some information in here was shared that you think, your sister or your neighbor next door would be interested in, send it to their phone. Send it to them. Yeah. So that's it. That's going to conclude this video. I'm about to go stuff me some envelopes, baby, because I got some plans and some goals for my life, and it is not for me to spend all my money. I'm going to spend some of it. Now, over here on this channel, we're going to spend our money. We're going to enjoy ourselves, but guess what? We're going to save for it. That Louis Vuitton purse you want, $1,600, we're going to save for it. That's what you want. That new car you want, we're going to save up them $12,500 or $20,500. Yeah, we doing that over here on this channel. Yes. The iPad you want for $900, we saving for it. It's a fixed fight, baby, because if you put them few dollars in, I'm telling you, it's going to add up. Just don't touch it unless you just have to, But anyway, that's going to conclude this video. This is Miss V. I'm going to continue to show you love. Hey. And I'm going to always, always, always help you save on some of the things you need. Thank you, and have a nice day. Happy budgeting. Happy budgeting. Please let me know in the comment section if you're already using the cash envelope system, or let me know if you're willing to try. Thank you.